Welcome to Set Free 24/7. My name is Robert, and I am so glad that you're here along on this journey with me today. We are going through Proverbs, and we're doing a chapter a day to keep the police away. And I just read a study yesterday. Somebody sent me a link to a pretty cool article, and they did a study a while back on people that were reading the Bible and some of their behaviors, and I found it quite interesting. It said if you're reading the Bible 4 times a week or more, your chances of getting drunk go down 57%, sex outside of marriage goes down 68%, pornography goes down 61%, and gambling 74%. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that your interactions with police probably go down 247%. Because I'm all about the set free 247. But friends, seriously though, I mean, if there's not better evidence than that just a little bit of the Bible every day is going to change things for you, it's right here in black and white. Some people actually just dedicated their lives to this study to get you the information. So, do with it as you may, but I know, for me, this is the right path. It has to be, because I know where I was before when I wasn't reading the Bible every day. I did 5 years in prison for drug addiction and fraud and all sorts of other crazy crimes that went along with that fed into my drug addiction. It's no way to live. I'm telling you, such a small life. And God has such a big, abundant life for us. So let's jump into Proverbs 8 here and see what Lady Wisdom has to say today. Do you hear Lady Wisdom calling? Can you hear Madam Insight raising her voice? She's taken her stand at First and Main, at the busiest intersection, right there in the city square where traffic is the thickest. She shouts, "You! I'm talking to all of you, everyone out here on the streets. Listen, you idiots! Learn good sense. You blockheads, shape up. Don't miss a word of this. I'm telling you how to live well. I'm telling you how to live at your best. My mouth chews and savors and relishes truth. I can't stand the taste of evil. You'll only hear true and right words from my mouth. Not one syllable will be twisted or skewed. You'll recognize this as true. You with open minds, truth-ready minds will see it at once. Prefer my life discipline over chasing after money and God knowledge over a lucrative career. For wisdom is better than all the trappings of wealth. Nothing you could wish for holds a candle to her. I am Lady Wisdom, and I live next to sanity. Knowledge and discretion live just down the street. The fear of God means hating evil, whose ways I hate with a passion. Pride and arrogance and crooked talk. Good counsel and common sense are my characteristics. I am both insight and the virtue to live it out. With my help, leaders rule and lawmakers legislate fairly. With my help, governors govern, along with all in legitimate authority. I love those who look to me. Those who look for me will find me. Wealth and glory accompany me. Also substantial honor and a good name. My benefits are worth more than a big salary, even a very big salary. The returns on me exceed any imaginable bonus. You can find me on Righteous Road. That's where I walk. At the intersection of Justice Avenue, handing out life to those who love me, filling their arms with life, armloads of life. God sovereignly made me the first, the basic, before he did anything else. I was brought into being a long time ago, well before Earth got its start. I arrived on the scene before ocean, yes, even before springs and rivers and lakes. Before mountains were sculpted and hills took shape, I was already there, newborn. long before God stretched out earth's horizons and tended to the minute details of soil and weather, and he set sky firmly in place. I was there. When he mapped and gave borders to the wild ocean and built the vast vault of heaven and installed the fountains that fed the ocean, when he drew a boundary for the sea and posted a sign that said no trespassing, and then staked out earth's foundations, I was right there with him, making sure everything fit. Day after day I was there, with my joyful applause, always enjoying his company, delighted with the world of things and creatures, happily celebrating the human family. So, my dear friends, listen carefully. Those who embrace these my ways are most blessed. Mark a life of discipline and live wisely. Don't squander your precious life. Blessed the man and blessed the woman who listens to me, awake and ready for me each morning, alert and responsive as I start my day's work. When you find me, you find life, real life, to say nothing of God's good pleasure. But if you wrong me, you damage your very soul. When you reject me, you're flirting with death. And friends, that's the end of chapter 8. Is there something that stood out to you today? Eugene Peterson does have a quick pause in here that I thought was worth reading today, so I'm going to jump right into that. And here's what he has to say. Wisdom is God's Spirit working within us. The Holy Spirit is God moving in us to live God's life. In Proverbs, this Holy Spirit is given a name, Lady Wisdom. What that does is personalize this aspect of God so that wisdom is not just information or a direction, not just good advice or a brilliant idea. What this does is personalize this aspect of God so that wisdom is not just information or a direction and not just good advice or a brilliant idea. Wisdom is God's Spirit working within us to fashion our lives into wholeness in the actual environment in which we find ourselves. In these circumstances, in this neighborhood, and in this family. Lady Wisdom is present not only to make it possible to pursue wholeness, but also to deal with brokenness. It is no use shutting our eyes to it and saying that it doesn't exist. It's no use wallowing in it and saying that there's nothing that we can do about it. It must be faced, and Lady Wisdom is here to face it with us. Still, the primary message shouted and sung by Lady Wisdom in this passage is that life is good. Don't settle for anything less than the whole thing. And friends, I will say this personally, when I was involved with drug addiction and all of the negative things I was doing, by the time I went to prison in 2010, I had racked up 53 B and C level felonies, fraudulent felonies, drug addiction, selling drugs, credit card fraud. The list seriously went on for days. It was crazy. But my life was this big. Every day I woke up and I did this much life. I was there using drugs, using people, doing whatever I could, just satisfy my personal, selfish desires. And that's what it was. A selfish life is this big. Turn it around now, and now here I am. And God is so good because now my life is way bigger than I had ever thought it was going to be. And I want you to have that big life too. Listen, the world is big enough for us all to have an abundant life. I promise you. God will make room. So I appreciate you following along today. Give this episode a like, a share. If you're following along, I appreciate you following along. I take prayer very seriously too. So like, share, and prayer. And if you need a prayer request, drop it in the comments below. Seriously, when I say I'm going to pray for you, I pray for you. It's not just something I say because it sounds cool. I'd be happy to do that for you. And I will see you tomorrow for Proverbs chapter 9. Have a great day.